Hey nerd, how are you? Welcome to the Nerd Sensei channel. In today's video, we'll be tackling a topic that has caused a lot of debate within the franchise, discussing the power levels of the Uchiha clan, ranking them from weakest to strongest. So if you like the idea of this video, go ahead and hit that like button with an Amaterasu and subscribe to the channel. Now, getting back to our video, I'll be analyzing the 7 Uchiha members that I consider to be the most powerful. It's worth noting here that I'll be analyzing the intrinsic power of the Uchiha without any Biju influence. In other words, I won't be considering Jinchuriki Madara or Jinchuriki Obito. However, even though I'm not considering Uchiha with Bijus, I will be evaluating the peak power of each character, meaning individuals like Madara, Sasuke, and Obito, with their Rinnegans, for example, will be included in our analysis. It's important to mention that I'll be considering information from both the anime and the manga to have a more comprehensive understanding of some members, such as Fugaku and Shisui. Additionally, I won't be considering Indra Otsutsuki in this battle, as despite being the ancestor of the Uchiha, he was primarily a member of the Otsutsuki clan. Therefore, he'll be excluded from our power level comparison. Finally, to rank the Uchiha, I'll take into account their abilities and achievements in battle. With that said, let's dive into the analysis. In 7th place, we have Izuna Uchiha. Izuna is the brother of the legendary Madara and grew up in a time when wars and battles between clans were common. Izuna's main rival during his upbringing was the future second Hokage, Tobirama, but he was ultimately defeated by the Senju in their final battle. Despite this defeat, Izuna was a very powerful Uchiha, holding a prominent position within the clan alongside his brother Madara, as both awakened their Sharingan and Mangekyou Sharingan at a young age. However, unlike Madara, Izuna didn't evolve his Mangekyou into the eternal Mangekyou Sharingan, as he gave his eyes to Madara to lead the clan with even greater power. Izuna occupies the 7th position on our list, because besides not having many recorded battle feats, we also don't know of any special techniques from him that would warrant a higher ranking. In 6th place, we have Fugaku Uchiha, the father of Sasuke and Itachi. Now you might be wondering, why does Fugaku rank above Izuna? Well, let me explain. Fugaku was the last leader of the Uchiha clan, and there were several indications that his strength was indeed worthy of respect. He also awakened his Mangekyou Sharingan upon witnessing the death of his friend. Thus, in addition to the standard Susanoo shared by all Mangekyou users, he likely possessed exclusive doujutsu techniques as well. One reference to his power is that Fugaku was very confident that he could easily control the Kyuubi with his Mangekyou Sharingan. It's also said that he was one of the shinobi considered by Hiruzen Sarutobi to become the 4th Hokage. Lastly, but certainly not least, there's the fact that we've never seen Fugaku defeated in battle. You might be thinking about the day when Itachi attacked the clan, right? In the anime, we saw a flashback of Itachi eliminating his father. Before confronting Fugaku, Itachi himself said that Fugaku would be his toughest opponent. However, upon arriving, Fugaku simply didn't resist and allowed himself to be sacrificed by Itachi. Therefore, it's not like Fugaku was truly defeated or anything. In reality, he chose not to engage in a full-on battle with his own son. Therefore, as the last great Uchiha leader, without reports of defeats in battle, possessing the Mangekyou Sharingan with enough power to control the Kyuubi, and being considered for the position of 4th Hokage, Fugaku occupies the position as the 6th most powerful on our list. Moving on to 5th place, we have Uchiha Shisui, who was considered by Danzu as the most powerful Uchiha of his time. Shisui grew up during the 3rd Great Ninja War and had many incidents during this period that greatly impacted him, one of which was the loss of his best friend in the war, leading him to awaken the Mangekyou Sharingan at a very young age. Not only thanks to his Mangekyou, but Shisui was truly a genius in battles, becoming a Jonin at a very young age, and later the captain of his team. He was even like an older brother to Itachi, serving as a mentor to him. Here's an interesting fact. Shisui and Itachi trained in combat, and most of the time, Shisui emerged victorious. Now let's talk more about his power. As mentioned earlier, he possesses the Mangekyou Sharingan, which allows him to use one of the most powerful genjutsus, if not the most powerful in the entire franchise, his Kotoamatsukami. This genjutsu doesn't even require visual contact and can manipulate the target's mind without them realizing it. Apart from this overpowered genjutsu, Shisui has access to a Susanoo, which was shown in his battle against Danzu, and he's also very fast, possessing a Shunshin no Jutsu so fast that he could not only disappear without leaving any traces, but also create clones that were actually traces of his incredible speed. Having no mass but able to attack with great power. Ultimately, Shisui occupies this position because unfortunately, he didn't get to develop his power to its peak like the next Uchihas on our list, not having attained the eternal Mangekyou Sharingan, let alone the Rinnegan. It's worth noting here that he was considered more powerful than Itachi because we were still talking about a young Itachi who hadn't yet possessed the Mangekyou Sharingan, which wasn't the case for Shisui, who did have the doujutsu in his battles against Itachi. Therefore, Shisui holds our 5th place. And in 4th place, we have Itachi Uchiha. Yes, this is a controversial position for Itachi, but don't worry, you'll understand. Itachi, like Shisui, was considered a great genius within the Uchiha clan, and rightfully so. At just 11 years old, Itachi was already a member of the Anbu, and by the age of 13, he became their captain. As for his abilities, he was highly skilled in taijutsu and genjutsu, mastering both like a true prodigy. In ninjutsu, aside from utilizing yin release and yang release, Itachi was also capable of using wind release, water release, and fire release, with the latter being much more potent due to his natural affinity. He was also a proficient user of the Sharingan, able to employ the doujutsu for extended periods. But it's with the Mangekyou Sharingan that Itachi truly showcases his potential, possessing incredible techniques like Tsukuyomi, Amaterasu, and a Susanoo equipped with the Yata Mirror, which could deflect any attack, and the Totsuka Blade, capable of sealing anyone it struck. Seriously, Itachi was a powerhouse in combat. However, he occupies this position in our ranking because unlike the characters in the top 3 of our list, Itachi didn't fully develop the extent of his powers. Sure, he attained the Mangekyou Sharingan, but he still exerted a lot of strain to use the doujutsu, and he didn't have enough chakra to employ the techniques frequently. In the original Naruto series, it was even stated that his limit for using the Mangekyou was 3 times in a single day. And as you'll see later on, the characters in the upcoming rankings don't even have remotely the same limitation. Not to mention they achieve different levels of doujutsu, with Itachi not attaining the eternal Mangekyou and certainly not the Rinnegan, which places him in the 4th position in our power comparison. Now, in 3rd place, we have Obito Uchiha. Unlike the last few characters we've analyzed, Obito wasn't born a genius. Far from it. Just to give you an idea, he only awakened his Sharingan when he was already a Chunin, unlike Shisui and Itachi, for example. Okay, but why did I place Obito in such a prominent position? Simple. Because of the power-ups he demonstrated over time, and man, they were incredible! Let's take a look. After the incident with the boulder, Obito is rescued by Uchiha Madara, who was already elderly at the time. Madara then, to save Obito, uses the cheat code of the series, Hashirama's cells, for Obito to recover. Sometime after his recovery, he gains 2 very powerful power-ups, his Mangekyou Sharingan and the ability to use wood release. Granted, it's worth noting that Obito's expertise in using wood release wasn't that high, but it's a fact that Hashirama's cells gave a significant power boost to the Uchiha, as he could use his Mangekyou Sharingan almost unrestrictedly and without drawbacks. Yes, even without an eternal Mangekyou Sharingan, Obito could use his Kamui many times because Hashirama's cells made his body much more resistant, and with an incredible regenerative capacity. And speaking of Kamui, Obito could use this space-time jutsu, giving him the ability to become intangible, which was a problem for many opponents. All of this I've mentioned is not to mention that Obito grew up being mentored by Uchiha Madara, who taught him various techniques. With this, Obito already became very powerful, capable of practically wiping out the entire Uchiha clan alongside Itachi. It's worth remembering that sometime before helping Itachi, he fought against the legendary 4th Hokage, but lost in that battle. If we were analyzing Obito's power here, I agree he could really fall behind someone like Itachi, for example. However, he gained another power-up, his Rinnegan, which he used in the 4th Great Ninja War. With the Rinnegan, Obito became a kind of Uchiha Nagato, where he could use his Mangekyou Sharingan in conjunction with the Rinnegan, and gave a lot of trouble even to Naruto and Killer Bee at the same time. Therefore, for having had 2 power-ups that the last 2 ranked characters didn't have, those being Hashirama's cells and the Rinnegan, Obito takes the 3rd place on our list. And in 2nd place, we have Uchiha Madara, the legend. Do you want clones with Susanoo or without Susanoo? Seriously, it's impossible not to give Madara the 2nd place above the other Uchihas on our list. Madara, like many of the Uchihas mentioned before, was a genius, rising to leadership of his clan at a very young age. He awakened the Mangekyou and Eternal Mangekyou Sharingan and engaged in numerous battles with the first Hokage Senju Hashirama, whom he considered his rival. Despite losing several times to Hashirama in his youth, it was after their final battle in the Valley of the End that Madara gained access to Hashirama's cells and used them to bolster his own power, leading to the awakening of the Rinnegan. Madara is then revived in the 4th Great Ninja War, And there, he shows the full result of his quest for power. In addition to being able to use the eternal Mangekyou Sharingan with a complete and very powerful Susanoo, he was also capable of using Hashirama's wood release techniques. And finally, he could use the Rinnegan and all its paths, such as unlimited chakra absorption and creation of chakra receivers, among many other techniques. However, among these extremely powerful techniques, one stands out from the others: his Limbo. But you must be wondering, what? How so? Madara only gained Limbo after acquiring his Rikudu mode after absorbing the Ten Tails. If you thought that, I understand why, because this is a very common mistake. In fact, Madara was shown using Limbo for the first time in his battle against the Tailed Beasts after being completely revived. Seriously? After all these power-ups, there's no way to compare Madara with the other Uchihas on our list. He simply exists on another level of power, comparable only to the next character. Now, in the first and honorable place, we have Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke still outshines his ancestor. Let's analyze this further. Sasuke may not have been a genius like Itachi in his childhood, but he certainly made up for the gap in their powers in the Shippuden saga. Sasuke trained with Orochimaru, which made him evolve tremendously in just a few years. Later on, he is shown to have acquired the Mangekyou Sharingan after his battle with Itachi, and before participating in the Fourth Great Ninja War, he obtained his eternal Mangekyou Sharingan, allowing Sasuke to almost unrestrictedly use his doujutsu, able to use Amaterasu in his left eye, manipulate flames in his right eye, and also his complete Susanoo with wings. As if that weren't enough, at the end of the war, Sasuke received an unprecedented power-up. He gained access to the Six Paths Chakra and activated the Supreme Rinnegan. With this doujutsu, Sasuke became capable of using Rinnegan techniques, such as gravity manipulation and unlimited chakra absorption. Not only that, but he also has his exclusive Rinnegan technique, his space-time teleportation technique that can be used in battle or even to travel to Kaguya's exclusive dimensions. With this totally insane power, Sasuke was able to capture all the tailed beasts at once after Kaguya's defeat. And he even fought on equal footing with Madara and Obito with the help of Naruto in these two battles. And it's worth noting that Obito was defeated by Sasuke and Naruto even before they had access to the Six Paths Chakra. Madara, on the other hand, was having an equal fight against Naruto and Sasuke when he was in his Rikudu mode, which was hundreds of times more powerful than his base version because he had full access to the Ten Tails Chakra. Not only that, but over the years, Sasuke had the ability to further refine his power, most likely pushing his abilities to the limit. In Naruto the Last, for example, he was seen destroying a meteor with a mere Chidori man. It's for having had more power-ups than the other members on this list, having an entirely overpowering exclusive ability, which is his space-time jutsu in combination with his Mangekyou and all the techniques derived from this doujutsu. Sasuke rightfully occupies the first place on our list. And that's basically it, nerd. Did you enjoy the video? Disagree with any position? It's worth mentioning again that this is just my opinion, and you have every right to disagree in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this far, and until the next video,